Hello everyone. Today we will see the use of if, and or in Excel formulas. So let's start. This is our data set, and here we can see different students' name and their respective marks in English, Science and Math. Three situations are given here. We will solve them one by one. So let's read the first situation. Equal to or above 80 in math is qualified. That is, any student will be qualified if he or she gets equal to or above 80 in math. His or her marks in English or science is not relevant here. Only his or her qualification will be based on this one. So let's solve it. Start with if, if this is the value for math greater than is equal to 80. So our then comma. So our condition is done, equal to or above 80 in math. Now the result, for result we will write qualified, and because qualified is a text value, we will type it under inverted comma, qualified. Else, so what if the value is false? Else he or she will be disqualified. So disqualified is also a text value, that's why type it under disqualified, inverted comma. Okay, now our condition is done, result is done, and the result if the condition doesn't meet also done. Now this is the first bracket. Now we have to give the closing bracket for this one, enter. So here we can see uh, in these two students are qualified, he is qualified and this student is also qualified, they are disqualified. Okay, now the second situation is equal to or above 80 in either English or science. So here math is not relevant, either English or science. So any students will be selected if he or she gets 80 in either English or science. So there is a, we have to use a or condition here. Okay, so let's start. So first start with if. Now we have to give an or condition. So start with an or, then again give first bracket for this or condition. Now we have to give the two condition one by one. The first condition is this one, greater than or equal to 80. The second condition is for this subject, greater than or equal to 80. So the condition is done. Condition is this one or this one. For this is the first bracket for or condition, this is the second bracket for or condition. So condition is given here. Now the result if true and the result if false. For that give a comma, and result will be if true, it will, he or she will be qualified, else disqualified. Now the this last bracket is for uh, the bracket after if. Okay, now press enter. We can see this student is qualified, this student Tom will be qualified, Alice will be qualified, Mia will not be qualified, Vieri will also not be qualified, Jenny and Paul will be qualified because this mark and this mark. Okay, so I hope you understand. Now the final one, situation 3, above 80 in math and above 80 in either English or science is qualified. That is, above 80 in math is mandatory if anybody wants to be qualified, and he needs to get above 80 in either English or science, he or she will be qualified. So let's, we have two conditions here, one for and the other for or. In or there are two subjects, in and there is only one, that is math. So let's start with if first and and is for math. So math 80. Here I am not using equal sign because in situation 3 equal is not given. Above 80 in math and above 80 in either English or science. So there is no equal, that's why we didn't mention equal sign here. But in situation 1 and 2 we there was equal sign in our formula because here equal to or above 80 was written. Equal to or above 80 was written. Okay. So this is for math, that is if, then and. This is the condition for math, comma, then our condition is not yet completed here. So we have to include this subject's criteria. So here we have to add an or. Then first bracket, here we have to give criteria for both of these subjects. So this one 80, comma, so this is for English. Now this is for science, and bracket. So from and to up to this is our full condition, and here we can see the whole condition is divided into two parts. This is for math and this is for English or science. English and science, and we have closed these values uh, using or, and before this one we used and. Because of this or, this is the first bracket, this bracket is for the closing bracket of this one, and now we have to add another bracket to close the for this bracket, that is bracket after and we have to use another bracket here. I'm explaining again. Here in this condition these are covered with up to this comma to this comma, and this is the total condition. So from this comma to this comma, so our total condition is given. Now the result if true and the result if false. So if the result is true, comma, then qualified, and the result is, if the result is false, then disqualified. Now this is the closing bracket for this one. I hope you can remember that we have to use inverted comma if we use any string text values. Qualified and disqualified are text values, so we typed them under inverted comma. So our entire formula is done. Now if I press enter and drag across, our thing is done. Here the first thing is math. So if anybody doesn't get above 18 math, we don't need to go for this, go to see need to see this. Okay, so if here Tom got 88, that is there is a chance here he will be qualified if he gets above 18 English or science. So here we can see Tom is qualified here. Alice is also qualified because of these two. Mia is not qualified. Vieri is qualified for math, but he didn't get above 18 English or science, so he will also be disqualified. Jenny is not qualified. Jenny is also disqualified, and Paul is qualified because he got above 18 math and above 18 English. So this is how we can use if and or in Excel formulas. That's all for today. Thank you very much.